Alright, so I know we don't normally have homework in this course, but since we have such little time together, there's something I really want to get to, but it can be a little bit challenging for people to find. So I ask that you do this before the next class. That way if you have any questions, we can try to resolve them, and then once we all get to class together, we can just get right to work. So we're going to be working on shoulder internal rotation. So the ball is rotating internally in its socket. This is going to be really useful for bench press, push-up, any sort of horizontal pushing motion, which comes in handy when we do queda de Hines, other moves like that in capoeira. So I'm going to ask that you have a block. If you don't have a block, you can use a firm pillow for this. It's mostly for head support. We're going to find our way to a side lying position. My knees are going to be at 90 or something like it. Head on this pillow or block. Then I'm going to go ahead and lift myself up, pull a straight bottom arm so that I pack this shoulder underneath the weight of my torso. So I feel pretty stuck here, and that's what I want. I want to have this, if I had a skewer, it would go straight from the top shoulder through the bottom one. I'm going to hinge at the arm, so my palm is facing that way, and I'm simply going to take my top hand and start to push down. So you'll see I'm not resisting, this is just where I go. So this is my internal rotation. My elbow is still pretty in contact with the floor, my shoulder is stuck underneath me, I'm not shifting around at all. And I would breathe here. This would be the time we spend in passive internal rotation. So as we've talked about, time under tension. Just being in this internally rotated position. We will do pails and rails from here, but I want to note you should be feeling a stretch on the outside shoulder stuff. This is a place where people can start to butt up against a little bit of discomfort. So if you go up to your end range, but you start to feel close to any of that pinchy stuff I always tell you to stay away from, I want you to just back off a little bit. So as always, you can reduce the angle. You can back off from your end range, and you should feel that reduce. So that's what I want from you if you find that sensation. Back away, still go as far as you can, but not into that weirdness. We'll stay here and enjoy passive, and then we're going to do pails and rails. So pails would be like I'm trying to pull myself the other way, but I'm going to have this top hand resisting. Rails is like I'm trying to pull this hand to the floor, so that way. But it's not going to probably go anywhere because we're already at our end range, so theoretically it has nowhere else to go. That's going to be the direction of effort. Again, we know pails and rails are isometrics, so it's not really going to go anywhere in space, but that's the way I want you pushing and pulling. We will do lift-offs, which would be actually lifting off from this hand. So at that point, as you know, we would back off the range a little bit so that we have more clearance. As always, my exaggeration is not how I really want it. I want you working with millimeters. I exaggerate just so you can see it on the video. I'll have you do this on both sides. I don't actually need you to do pails and rails and lift-offs. You can try it if you want, but we want to go lower intensity when it's your first time and it's a little bit unguided, right? What I really want you to do is just try to find that passive position. Feel that stretch on the outside shoulder stuff on both shoulders, because we know we're not symmetrical. And that way, if you have any questions, you can ask me before the next class. You'll be able to recreate that situation and that position, and then we can get right into that work when we come together.